This is something I guess that struck my interest because I've had neighbors and so forth wanting to build things and they're becoming shocked when they go to the stores, but also regular or builders and your average person even to go to the local Menards or Home Depot and they're like, whoa, a 2x4 is $5 and it was 99 cents. Do we know why the prices are up?
Well, the one word answer is pandemic, but I'll give you more than that. Specifically, in February to April of last year, we had this tremendous shutdown across the economy, including home building and other forms of construction. And so home builders canceled orders that they'd placed with lumber mills. Lumber mills themselves may have had to shut down either under government order or because they had workers who were infected. And then as soon as those orders ended in April and people had been cooped up with family members they hadn't expected to be living with them or going to school with them and spouses who were both competing for the same Wi-Fi and workspace, they went out and said, I want to buy a house now. Interest rates are at record lows and so forth. So home building has been on a tear ever since April. And people who weren't buying a new home, they were remodeling or expanding. In addition, you had restaurants putting in outdoor seating areas with wood platforms and railings and so forth. Lots of remodeling going on in offices and many other kinds of spaces. All of that uses lumber. So you had a huge upsurge in demand for lumber while the mills are still struggling to get some of their workers back. The workers may have been infected or may be taking care of someone at home who is, or someone who's not able to go to school or daycare, and so they can't come into the mill. And then one more thing is that truck drivers are also scarce these days for the same health reasons or family reasons. So even if a mill does have enough logs coming to it, and that may be a problem, they may not be able to find the drivers to deliver the logs to the local lumber store.
That's another story I can get with truckers. I didn't know that. I had no idea about that as well. There's several angles here that are going on. So is the industry, so they were shut down last year and then all of a sudden, are they back up producing now, but they just can't keep up with the demand then?
Well, that's right. I'm told, and I'm not that close to the timber industry, the lumber mill industry, but I'm told that some of those mills are still struggling to get back to full employment because of the lingering effects of COVID on some of the workers or their families. And so it's really been a challenge for many industries, including construction, to get enough workers who are fit and willing to come in to work.
Is this then impacting, I just thought of this, but it makes sense. Is it hurting jobs because jobs then are being delayed? My dad used to be in construction, actually he was a pipe fitter. But are people out of work or not working now because projects are being put on hold?
Well, yes, on the non-residential side, we're definitely experiencing that. Okay. AGC did a whole series of surveys through the year. Our most recent one was completed just 4 weeks ago on March 4th, and we found that 77% of the respondents said that they had had a project canceled or postponed, sometimes indefinitely. Oh. And so that's really dragging down the total amount of non-residential construction. In fact, today, the Census Bureau put out a monthly report on what they call value put in place, spending on projects already underway. And every category of private non-residential spending has declined from a year before as of February. The total decline in private non-residential was 10%.
So it's supply and demand. And I've also read that some people, some people are willing to pay it, but a lot of home projects and people, instead of paying thousands more to build their deck, they are just holding on because money is at a premium as well. I mean, the stimuluses have helped, but some people, like someone messaged me yesterday, they were going to build a deck for $1,500 and now it's $3,000. And they said, oh, I'm just going to wait years from now. Is that what's happening in the corporate world as well? I mean, not just the home builders, but in industry, are they doing the same thing? And like, whoa, this cost is way too much.
I haven't seen or heard that yet for the simple reason that contractors are competing more. Not only did so many of them find projects being canceled, but only 1 out of 5 in our survey said that they had won a new or add-on project in the last 2 months. So you're getting more competition for the remaining work, and that means contractors are holding off on pushing through these price increases. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports each month on what they call producer price indexes. They get quotes from thousands of manufacturers and wholesalers, other producers, and they aggregate those to create an index that's called the producer price index for inputs. That's materials and services used in non-residential and residential construction. And those indexes have really shot up 14% from April to February. They also have an index that I call a bid price index. They're asking contractors, what would you charge in terms of your overhead and profit margin to put up a particular building? And that index has stayed almost flat. It's only gone up 0.5% from April to February. So the short answer to you is no, most non-residential owners are not feeling that cost squeeze that contractors are experiencing up till now. But that really can't last. I mean, contractors can't absorb 15% annual increases or much more for things like lumber and steel and stay in business. So either they're going to stop proposing on jobs or they're going to ask the owners to take on more of that risk